Boom. Let's go. So I don't know how I'll start this one, but let's go in fresh. A court has heard terrifying, capitalized, new details of a teenage girl's alleged nighttime road ordeal in which Sydney father allegedly turned from Good Samaritan into her sex stalker and indecent attacker. The 19-year-old was allegedly followed, indecently assaulted, and then followed again by Keenan Basic. After she repelled his alleged suggestion, she provided sexual favors around the corner in return for his fixing her damaged car. Well, this is in Australia, so he probably said it like, sexual favors around the corner, sexual favors around the corner. After allegedly pursuing her twice more in touching her breasts and genitals, police say Basic continued to follow her, tapping on her locked car window, yelling, come on, let's go," as the frightened girl screamed down the phone to her boyfriend. This is awful, right? This poor 19-year-old has her car broken down. This Mr. Keenan Basic fellow helps her out, fixes the car, but he wants sexual favors in return, right? The rest of this goes to show it. He's leaning up against the car. We see a clear picture of his face, not of the alleged victim, which I guess is standard. More talk about assault. This shows him fixing a car. They're hugging. This is probably before he allegedly asked for sexual favors. Oh my gosh. She pushed him as hard as she could. He stumbled backwards and then put his left hand towards her genitals. So this guy's just trying to assault her, right? He has no regard for the intimidation his conduct represents. Poor 19-year-old. Keenan Basic. Here's more information about Keenan Basic. Okay, well, Keenan Basic. Bad dude, right? Allegedly bad dude. But behold, the story continues. Good Samaritan spends 2 weeks in a maximum security prison after woman whose car he helped fix falsely accused him of indecent assault. So she just lied. He went to prison for 2 weeks. She lied about the whole thing. Keenan Basic stopped to help a 19-year-old woman with her car at service station. Woman had a broken down car and Mr. Basic spent 2 hours helping her fix it. They hugged, and he followed her a short distance to make sure she was all right. Days later, the woman claimed Mr. Basic stalked her and indecently assaulted her. So days later, I guess she remembers, Mr. Basic spent 2 weeks in prison, lost his job, and is going through a divorce. All charges were dropped against him after woman admitted to lying. So I already read the first part of the story in which we see his name plastered everywhere. We know that Keenan Basic is the accused. And this one, she admits to lying. Why can't we get her name? Why can't we protect ourselves from this woman? Like it's in man's nature. It's in our nature to protect, to help. It really is, but we're going to have to fight it because they're using our natures against each other. So Mr. Basic stopped to help the teenager in November last year after she crashed her car and pulled into a BP in Bankstown in Sydney's southwest. The 36-year-old married father of one spent almost 2 hours helping the woman get her car back on the road. That's another thing. I mean, most guys would. Most guys would help. I know society is telling us that we are toxic and evil and only want to rape and assault people. But we understand how real men are. We do help. But it has to stop. It's not worth the risk. And no one appreciates it anyway. Your family. Don't worry about these strangers anymore. CCTV captured the entire interaction and shows the pair chatting happily and even embracing before she drives away. There you go. Why didn't they just look at this? They just arrest the man without even going over the footage. There's no innocent until proven guilty. But look at this. They blur her face out. They show his face everywhere. We don't know who this person is. She's going around the community alleging assault on innocent victims. They're spending time in prison, maximum security prison. She's free to walk around and do it again. Well, maybe she'll suffer some time and maybe she'll maybe she'll change her ways. However, after they drove off, the woman told police Mr. Basic indecently assaulted and stalked her. There's a lot of talk about the woman, the teenager, the woman, the teenager. No name whatsoever. He also lost his job and is now going through a divorce because of the false charges. It's probably for the better. It's not likely he chose a good woman to marry. I mean, what are the options nowadays? The options are pretty bad. But he probably wasn't even thinking a 19-year-old teenager in a Western society would accuse him of rape or assault, would accuse him of assault if he was helping her. But I don't think he's paying attention to what's going on. So many people are oblivious. It sucks that this guy had to go to prison for 2 weeks trying to do the right thing. But you know what? Quit helping. At least he learns. Hopefully other people who are wise can learn from others' mistakes. Don't help. They're strong, they're independent. They don't want your help. Don't help. Look, if my car breaks down and a guy helps me, I'm not going to falsely accuse you of assaulting me. You guys can read this story. And I'm going to give shout outs to Mr. Obvious whose video tipped me off to this. I had to discard the other toxic female of the week. Maybe I'll post that up next week or tomorrow. But this woman takes a cake. We can't even tell who she is. We see his face. He served two weeks. She should at least get 2 weeks. She should at least get 2 weeks in maximum security prison. She might get nothing. It just amazes me that we can't see who she is. His name is everywhere. Her name isn't. 2 separate forms of justice. But all of this is perpetrated by men. Let's think about it. Who arrested him? Who put him in handcuffs? Who actually executes the system? It's not women. Men run this thing. And men are thirsty. It is in their nature to protect women, to protect those who are weaker than ourselves, but this is how society crumbles. She probably still has her boyfriend. She probably still has a boyfriend. The only way we're going to stop the decline of Western societies is to recognize that they're pitting our natures against each other. And that's the thing about religion. For millennia, we've been on this planet, and religion has found out a way of realizing the nature of woman and understanding how to set up society to the best of our human ability for the progress of everyone. What happens when you destroy marriage? What happens when you destroy the family unit? What happens when you take the father out of the household? Oh, I mean, nowadays you have men just dropping out the system. You have men dropping out the system. You have men going MGTOW. You have men just escaping into video games and superhero movies. This can go on forever, but I hope this is a warning. I hope this is a warning, not just to him, but to everyone in Sydney, to everyone in Australia, to everyone in Western cultures. This is what is happening because we've allowed it. Men, we've allowed it. So maybe to fix it, we have to look, we're not going to change the nature of woman. You're not going to change that. You just have to understand what they are and be able to mitigate the damages. But we can help men. We can help men to set up themselves so that way we can protect society together. Instead of letting our level of thirst or our unnecessary hope for validation from the gyno humans I don't know. All right, so unnamed woman, blurry face woman. Hold on. So, unnamed woman, you're a toxic female.